Welcome back to another Social Security benefits update. Seniors have been screwed for much too long with benefit payments that are entirely too small and broken promises from president after president promising things like increased benefits, Social Security reform long term, and even a $200 per month stimulus boost from President Biden, which still has not come to fruition. And now we have a proposed plan from Senator Mitt Romney, which some are saying would end Social Security benefits as we know it. So let's discuss the details in this video. We're going to cover Mitt Romney, his plan for Social Security, and even my thoughts on Mitt Romney as well. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. On this channel, we talk about Social Security, retirement, stimulus, and personal finance in general. So please subscribe if you like this content and share this channel with anybody who you think might find this helpful. So in my previous videos, we've covered plans from Bernie Sanders, President Biden, Elizabeth Warren, among many others who want to put new plans in place to protect Social Security long term, make sure the administration stays solvent for decades to come, as well as increasing monthly benefits, increasing that annual COLA increase, increasing benefits for widows, just across the board, increasing benefits. And Mitt Romney has a plan of his own. Now, despite the fact that Mitt Romney seems to be coming from a good place, the media is slamming Romney's plan as a Trojan horse to cut seniors' benefits. And Democrats are saying that Mitt Romney's plan will either directly or indirectly cut benefits for the majority of seniors who are on benefits. Now, let's discuss the details so you can decide for yourself whether you think Mitt Romney's plan is a good plan or a bad plan. But before we get into it, let's hear from Mitt Romney himself and see exactly what he had to say about Social Security.
We're going to have to reform Social Security. I was honestly dismayed at the opposition party on this front. The president put a proposal on the table. He indicated a great deal of flexibility. He even put forward Bob Posen's proposal of a, if you will, a graduated inflator rate for higher income people as a way to solve the problem, and laid that on the table. And the Democratic Party came back and said, "There's no problem. We don't need to solve this," which I thought was not the answer he expected, and certainly not the answer America needed. We can reform our Social Security program. There are a number of levers that we can pull. I do not like the lever of raising taxes. I think that should be eliminated as the possible course. But there are other suggestions. One is the Posen proposal, which is having having the rate of inflation for the initial Social Security benefit being the CPI index rather than the wage index for people of higher incomes. That goes a long way to solving the problem. There are other levers as well. There's extending the retirement age or putting in place individual accounts, particularly funded with the surplus that's being generated today. That has a lot of merit. So those are the options that are on the table. We're going to have to get Republicans and Democrats to finally sit in a room, acknowledge the degree of the problem, and come up with a solution. And that's something which I think can be done and has to be done by either by the current administration or by the next one. In Medicaid,
Before you move off that, even if you accept the long-term benefits of individual accounts, you've got substantial short-term costs. How do you pay for that?
When you say short-term costs, I'm not. Well,
Well,
right now we have a huge surplus.
Make up the difference.
Well, we have a huge surplus right now
But that goes away very
by
rapidly.
2017.
Right.
Yeah. So in the interim, you can take the funding. If we want to help finance individual accounts, people could say, "Yeah, I want a portion of my Social Security to go to an individual account," and that could be financed by the surplus that exists.
Okay, first, let me give you my personal thoughts on Mitt Romney in general, and then my thoughts on his plan for Social Security. First of all, full disclosure here. I personally like Mitt Romney. Now, if you vote Democrat, you're probably unsubscribing and disliking this video. But look, in my opinion, Mitt Romney is one of the few congressmen left who actually tries to propose bipartisan plans. He tries to get deals done that are genuinely a compromise, and that is something that is really, really rare these days, and something that would honestly help benefit this country as a whole if more people in Congress would act in this way. Now, when it comes to his plan for Social Security, I think it's terrible. And if you're on Social Security, make no mistake that Mitt Romney's plan would cut your benefits, and it would cut future benefits for those who are not retired yet. First of all, Mitt Romney wants to raise the full retirement age to 70. Now, currently it's about 67 for most people, but the majority of people take it at age 62, and you are penalized for taking it early. If they raise the full retirement age to 70, you will be penalized even harder for taking it at age 62, because you would then be claiming 8 years early instead of 5, if that kind of makes sense. Secondly, he does not want to raise taxes. He is strongly against raising taxes, like the majority of Republicans are. But guys, make no mistake, if we're going to preserve Social Security benefits, if we're going to increase monthly benefit payments, unfortunately, someone is going to have to pay more taxes. And currently, if you make over $400,000 per year, you do not pay a single penny into the Social Security tax. And this is something that Democrats want to change, and Mitt Romney is strongly against. Another thing that Mitt Romney strongly supports is what they call privatizing Social Security. This is kind of a complicated way of just saying, essentially turning your Social Security tax into a mandatory 401k. So currently, when you pay tax into the Social Security system, that money either immediately goes into the trust fund for Social Security or goes to fund someone's retirement who is currently already retired. Now, privatizing Social Security would not do that. Basically, it would be like a mandatory 401k. Your money would be taxed, but then placed into your own personal 401k savings to be invested as you please, and then you would be able to use your own money in retirement that you invested throughout your life. Now, in theory, this sounds kind of nice. The stock market returns have been a heck of a lot better than the returns that the Social Security Administration gets, because the majority of their money are in bonds, which are low reward but low risk. Remember, Social Security benefits are supposed to be promised. We cannot take the risk of your benefits being cut because we're in a recession or because the market just happened to fluctuate that year. This is why Democrats are strongly against the privatization of Social Security, because of the risk of losing your monthly payments or getting your monthly payments lowered. These are all things that would end Social Security benefits as we know it. Social Security would be changed so fundamentally that your benefits would no longer be promised, and the majority of you would have your benefits cut because Mitt Romney would want to increase that full retirement age. So you'd have to wait longer to retire. You'd get your benefits cut even larger if you retired early, and your monthly benefits would be at risk by being put in the stock market, which, as we've all seen over the last 12 months, the stock market can be ridiculously volatile. So why are Democrats saying that Mitt Romney's Trust Act, which is what he's calling this plan, is a Trojan horse to cut benefits? So to explain why they're calling this a Trojan horse, you kind of have to explain how legislation originates in general. Now, technically, legislation has to begin in the House. Committees in the House will write up the legislation, bring it to a vote in the House, and if it passes the House, they can then take it to the Senate and take it to a floor vote on the Senate as well, at which point they then take it to the president to sign into law. Now, Mitt Romney's Trust Act wants to establish committees of 4 people who can create legislation as a quote-unquote emergency use and bring it directly to a floor vote on the Senate, essentially circumventing the House entirely and bringing it directly to a vote on the Senate floor, making it a lot easier to make changes to Social Security. So on the one hand, it would make it a lot easier to cut Social Security benefits, but on the other hand, it would actually make it a lot easier to increase Social Security benefits as well if Democrats controlled the Senate. But regardless, this is why Democrats are calling it a Trojan horse to cut benefits, because one, it would circumvent the House, and secondly, the way the proposal is written, the main function of the committee would be to make sure programs stay solvent. And what's the easiest way to make sure Social Security stays solvent? Cut benefits. I said the easiest way, but not the best. And that is something Democrats don't want to allow to happen. And this committee would most likely try to cut benefits in order to make the program solvent. But again, that would not solve the problem. The problem is that benefits are already too low, and that is the last thing that we need. Now, if you look at the actual proposal put up by Mitt Romney, it would still require 60 votes. So despite the fact that it would be easier to bring it to a vote in the Senate, it would still require those 60 votes, and it would still be able to be blocked by a filibuster. But in general, Mitt Romney's plan would lower benefit payments, increase the full retirement age, and make it a lot easier to defund Social Security long term. And this is why Democrats are strongly against this plan. And personally, I am strongly against it as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like Mitt Romney's plan or do you dislike it? Now, as most of you know, Democrats continue to work on their infrastructure plan, and President Biden recently announced that for fiscal year 2022, which actually begins this October 2021, he wants to increase spending on Medicare and Medicaid, increase spending on education, and increase spending for affordable housing. It's also expected that in the coming months, President Biden will announce that he also wants to increase spending for Social Security benefits as well. Of course, we're hoping for larger benefit payments. We're hoping for that $200 per month stimulus boost. The good news is it is being reported that President Biden does plan to propose larger Social Security benefits and a larger Social Security tax. So with that said, we should have a lot of updates in the next few weeks, so please subscribe if you like this content, like this video, and share this channel with anybody who you think might find this helpful. I'll keep you updated on Social Security benefits updates, that $200 per month stimulus boost, and President Biden's plan to reform Social Security benefits long term. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Until then, take care and have a great day.